This instructional video will go through the BIE Project Planner, specifically the resources and reflection methods section. So let's go ahead and take a look at that for the Roaring Twenties. So for our particular project, in terms of resources, we have things such as dance instructors, guest speakers or historical experts, murder mystery performers. Equipment that you intend to use in your classroom can be anything from TVs, video equipment, if you have class sets of iPads, computers, a sound system that you're utilizing. And then other materials might include things such as, in our case, scripts and clues, seminal text, costumes, props, digital materials, apps, software, and websites. This is a general list of some of the materials that we would use. You can be as general or as specific as you need to be when you're creating your projects and filling out your BIE project planner. So for instance, in this specific example, you can say, I'm, Vintaggio. You could list a specific app for your silent movies that your students will be making and so forth. So again, be as specific or as general depending on that project and your needs as the instructor. And then lastly, add your community resources. So in this case, we have museum tours, we have performances, shows. We're using primary resources, our library, obviously for those, and letters, documents, and photos. And then we come back to reflection. Remember the engagement piece. When we cultivate that project-based learning environment, very important to provide students the opportunity to reflect and to revise during the process of creating their projects. So some of what we included were focus groups. For reflection, whole class discussions, as well as a class blog and even group evaluation. So those were some of the types of reflection methods that we were including for the group or for the class. And then in terms of individual self-evaluation, a journal and learning log, open-ended questions, and of course the self-evaluation falls under other. So again, it depends on your project. One thing to keep in mind is even though you might have your BIE project planner completed and your students are now working on their projects, it's not the end all. This is more or less a project that is going to continue to develop. And so this planner will continue to develop as you make those modifications, as you see things that arise as students begin working on their projects. You'll continually be going back to this project planner and modifying it and customizing it so that the next time you do the project with your students, you'll be able to pull this out and have that ready to go. So now that we went through this section of the planner, it's time for you to go ahead and fill that out. And this is the assignment link for that. So what you're required to do for this is to fill those sections out on your BIE planner. Do not submit your planner yet. Okay, so that's going to come in the project creation and finalization. All you're doing is filling out those sections. But share your resources and reflection methods. So choose a sample from both areas and share that. Explain how you'll incorporate that in your project development for your students.